We're live. We're live here. The talk show is back, and we got some new topics to talk about. Since my always putting up caveats and doesn't want to show up for stuff, but he wants to start. He wants to start these quote unquote debates that or these arguments that he wants to say. It's not coming on. Which that would be the Wayne Coffee, aka the Belt Guy. The Belt Guy wants to start shit, but he don't want to put on shit. Um, so little solo going on. I'm just gonna talk because one is my show, and two, sorry for being a little hiatus. I have been working on some stuff, and I just been putting my show on the back burner, which I shouldn't have been doing. Which I said last time I was going to be, doing a lot of my shows, but getting a lot of stuff straight. But now that we got all that straight, get this right. Yeah, we got all this stuff straight. Welcome back, everybody. So the Nasty Leroy talk show is back, so we're gonna talk about some things. Um, being to that for so I have no co-host, as you see. Uh, what we're going to discuss is, normally on this platform we don't give national TV coverage to any WWE or AEW, but I will say this, and this will be in the sense of on AEW, but they're in AEW kind of topics. The topic of this course that people love to have, and Monet knows what she's doing. Very smart, very smart. Um, I think everybody wants to have this belt conversation, but or discourse. But the thing is, with that is when you have the belts, too many belts, the belts or whatever. I don't think people realize that the Monet Discord is a lot of people don't watch these promotions. Nobody can tell me outside of AEW unless you really, and I know there's a few people are like that really watch, but unless you really watch Rap Pro and you watch uh CMLL, and I know a person who do it. My friend Advocate does it. Stampede does it. Like, my friend Miss South does it. There's three people that I know, right? And there's probably more. But like, if you're complaining about no, she's not doing nothing about the belts, you may got too many belts, then you do not watch wrestling outside of WWE. It's a simple fact. Because you're complaining about belts which you don't know nothing about, and not only this not knowing nothing about, you don't watch independent wrestling. Let's just keep it a back. Let's just keep it a bean. Let's keep it a buck. You don't watch independent wrestling. Now, even that you don't watch independent wrestling, this is the time when you can watch independent wrestling, which I like that Mercedes doing it. She's putting a shine. Mercedes is a household name, and she's putting a lot of shine on companies that help that she wants to wrestle for. But not only wants to wrestle for, getting to wrestle for, and being their champion. What does that do? That everybody likes to talk the numbers, but like the numbers is they have the highest gates when they have Mercedes on the card, the biggest spotlights. Not only it draws attention to those companies, so now you now know about those companies if you didn't know before. And now, like, you know about the women that she's facing. So she's only elevating talent. She's only um, elevating people that you wouldn't know, even if you don't watch independent wrestling. And if you do watch independent wrestling, there's talents that you don't know. So that being said, it's It's helping the it's helping the wrestling industry. The wrestling industry, as some people like to say, wrestling business, the wrestling world as a whole. So, I mean, start watching these promotions because she's giving you a directory of what it is. It's kind of like the PWI. PWI is a directory of uh, wrestlers, female and male, and tag teams that you don't even know about that are not on TV. Majority. That's what it's for. It has people for TV, but it's mainly for people who are not on TV because you should be getting curious and looking up these people. It's the same thing with with the Ultimo Monet stuff. And also, it's a good character arc because when she loses, I would say that a lot of people say when she loses the AEW world title match, she's going to go on the downfall of losing all these belts. And I think that's the biggest story. But I'm not going to say what somebody else said. I'm going to say that it's a whole Floyd Mayweather thing. Um, no, I'm gonna give credit to my friend Miss South. Miss South said it's the whole Floyd Mayweather thing. Um, it's you want to see her lose. Long as you tune in and want to see her lose, that is the real thing right there. And since you want to see her lose and prepare for her downfall, that only means more views for promotions. That means not only AEW, but a lot of the independent promotions. I promise you, if you watch a Red Pro show and you're watching for Monet and you stay for Monet, and tomorrow time she's gonna be the main event, probably you'll find a new whole array of talent that you didn't even know was there. So enough of that. Um, a lot of people are wilding out. I'm not even gonna spend too much topic on this thing. But a lot of people are wilding out because they they are they they say the I Quit match between Moxley and Darby is too violent. Well, I'm about to tell you this. If you haven't watched CZW, GCW, or ECW, this is not too violent. Matter of fact, it shows that you don't watch these promotions. Because if you're watching World Wrestling Entertainment and if you're thinking I Quit matches are like that and you're used to that shit, then this North American promotion, this national TV promotion that dives in really to the hardcore war world and the extreme wrestling world, you know, which it which I'm glad that it does because I'm glad that a national TV company is showing what what you do in a feud. Most of these matches are not just for the sake of this bucket matches. They're really for the rivalry. And in a hardcore, and if you're going to do a Texas Death Match or you're going to do an I Quit match, this is the object of the match. What I think a lot of people have been conditioned to, and I think even a couple of my friends or even have been conditioned to, is you're used to this baby type hardcore, a couple chairs, a couple Singapore canes, maybe a golf cart. They fight each other all around the ring. Then they put him in a submission and with the fucking Kindle stick, and it's like, oh, do you want to tap? Oh yeah, I quit. And that's a little taste. Oh, that was a hardcore match. Oh, but being that Tony is a student in the game, knows that he knows, and I know that wrestling outside of World Wrestling Entertainment it goes a little bit more deeper. It goes a little bit more violent, and wrestling is violent in a sense anyway. So you had your death matches and stuff like in CZW, and even you know what? We go back in the '80s, like Mid South and fucking places in territories in Memphis. And old WCW matches when Terry Funk and Ric Flair used to go at it. Most people don't know that that's a Terry Funk spot, actually. That spot's been around, I don't know how many times. I've probably seen that shit on like G, and not even just GCW, but WCW. I've seen it in CZW. I've seen it all over. It's not new. And I think a lot of people are new to like this style of wrestling because it's in the North American national TV market, and because AEW is a large market, is a large thing. You This is what you're used to because not many people watched, and it definitely shows CZW and CZW type spots like that. Swerve Strickland and Under Page match that happened in the Cage of Death. That needle spot thing that happened before. One, I know that shirt Swerve Strickland because he's done that before. Not a whole bunch of those matches, but he's done them. He's done like maybe like 2, 3, and he knew what it was and he did it. So that being said, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Just watch ECW, and you see the same thing. Watch CZW, you see the same thing. Watch ECW, watch the same thing. Most people don't even know. Like when Darby was on the Indies, he was in GCW. Like I don't know if y'all know that, and if you don't, well, you're welcome. I just exposed you to where he was on. Um. So yeah. Second topic. Yeah, another topic. Now I was gonna go into my topic of is it easier to be a baby face than a heel? But that's not my topic to go over, especially with the person that I don't have on it because he wants to throw caveats. Oh, get this person on and get this person on, I'll come on. But the bell guy doesn't want to come on because he doesn't want to get um want people to have these questions and you know call him out on it if they did. But yeah. Um. So what I'm gonna do? What's up, Randy? From Facebook. What's up, Randy? Howdy. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send and share this thing out. Hold on. No, I'm not gonna share. Oh, well, I think I'll share it out later today. I don't know. Anyway, um, I'll share it out later. Um, yeah. So that topic is not what it is going to be today. Um, People wilding about AEW is a normal shit. Like, even good or bad, you're talking about it. And most part, I'm gonna tell you this, and this is just, but as we go into wrestling in general, I don't know outside of WWE that more people make content for. No, seriously, I don't know outside of AEW that people make content for and have a problem with anything and everything. Like when I see an I Quit match of Moxley and Darby, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be violent. What did you expect? And because they was in St. Louis, they couldn't go really hard as they wanted to. So you used to think St. Louis Athletic Commission, you think the Missouri Athletic Commission because they didn't go as hard as they really wanted to. So and half the people know they wanted to see some horror movie type stuff. Come on, man. Uh All in all, it's a good show to be honest. It's about like a 7. It was a good solid show. Um I had to go back and watch the FTR and speed um jet speed match. So, but other than that, I watch everything else. Um, but yeah. Um, so I want to bring up my own topic. Uh, I think I think a lot of people. Topic is: are you? And I don't know when people see this back. It's gonna be this. People gonna answer this, but since WWE's charging all this money, right? And a lot of people gonna go to AEW shows or whatever, right? But other than AEW, are you gonna support true independent wrestling? Not a company that you says. So first of all, let's get this out the way. A company that is $1 million, $1 billion company, and looks the way that it does for AEW. That's not an independent promotion. An independent promotion, for the definition, when people say, and this is what they don't know what they're talking about. When people say AEW is an independent, no, an independent is a small organization. Not even it's small. It runs not only small, but a small organization that runs in bars, VFW halls, ballrooms, theaters, moose halls, and places of that ilk. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's for the best quality ones. Yeah, and gyms, as you call harder. But no more times than not, they have the best quality. Especially, you have to have the best quality because most people are going to be like, "Oh, this is a small venue. Oh, this is stuff." They don't have. They maybe have a smoke machine, but they don't have like you know. Most of the time, they have lights, they have a curtain, they have stuffy the ring aprons. They have the ring. They have the commentary table. And I think there's and barricades sometimes, but most of the time they don't have that, and that's about it. Independent wrestling is bare bones. It's the blood. It's the blood. I don't even say the bloodline. It's the lifeblood of professional wrestling. So, and if you go to a good quality independent show, you can get your money's worth. About 10, 15, or $20, you can watch some good wrestling, some good pro wrestling. That's where it all starts out. Are you going to support places like Ashe Wrestling? Are you going to support places like 1FW Wrestling, where I be at? Are you going to support places like Deadlock Pro Wrestling, AAW, AIW, West Coast Pro, and House of Glory, and Reality Wrestling, New Texas, Action Wrestling? These are like I've named like 8 so far. But you could have a great time, and if you just open your eyes, open your mind, that everything is not dirty, you will have a fantastic time. Not a great time. You will have a fantastic time because it's not only is new, but it's new wrestling that doesn't have a big corporate back and it doesn't have these big lights and it doesn't have an LED screen. Now, I am going to say because there are a few exceptions to the rules in independent wrestling. Reality wrestling's been around for a while, right? Maybe 15, 20 years, and they have Booker T backing them up. So they're going to have their own place. They're going to have the LED lights, but it's going to be smaller. One Fall Wrestling has a LED, little LED board. It has posters and all that kind of stuff. Why? Because QT been putting in the money doing it. To it. He, from one AEW, he's also been putting in the money to it, building up the stuff. So when you see places like One Fall and you see places like Reality Wrestling, know that it's a more higher quality independent, but it's still an independent promotion. So for those who like to And you know what? I hope you don't look down your. I hope you don't look down your what's what nose at independent wrestling because it's top quality. Matter of fact, you have the best time. Like I said, you have a phenomenal time because you get the best wrestlers going on right now. You get guys that are coming up. You get new and rookie guys that are coming up, or guys that are seasoned, or guys that are being going to the next stage of their career, which is Japan or AEW or would it be WWE and stuff. So, oh look who it is. Let me get him to the stage. It's the belt god.
Bro, where is everybody, man? I thought you was gonna get my boy Vaughn and party out here. What happened?
I sent them a message and stuff. They never got back to me.
Classic Leroy. Classic Leroy. We
So
gonna,
now that
we
you now that you're
gonna talk
here,
about
Mr. All seeing eye in the industry, as you
we're
got in
not.
here.
We're not. We're not. Yeah, we're gonna turn left. We're not. We're gonna talk about something else. You couldn't even bring the boys on here to have a no, you're in two like turning lanes. You see? It's two left hand turn lanes. This one says left where you can go straight. That's,
I want to
funny
bring
thing
up
is,
your
it doesn't matter. I told you, bring in Vaughn and bring in Marty. And I said, we got a conversation. I told you that yesterday.
I already sent them a message. I can't make them come in here. I can only send the
And
link in.
yeah, you waited till today, like a few minutes before your show to do that, man. Come on.
No,
I
I
wouldn't
didn't.
show up either. How you doing, bro? How
I'm
was
all right.
training?
I didn't go to training. I've been detoxing.
Detoxing.
Yeah. Also, there was a show. It was a show Monday, so
There was a show
and I,
Monday.
yeah, and I didn't get to go to the gym because I've been detoxing. Because I had to stay home and So
Okay, whatever that means. What does the show have to do with detoxing?
no, I'm just saying it was a show because even if there wasn't, I would have been at training. But I started my detox today.
What you're talking about? Okay. What's going on? What are you talking about on here? I heard you talking about the next step on the New Japan and stuff and all this other stuff.
I was saying that I said it's the best time right now to give independent wrestling a chance if you haven't given it a chance.
Make a turn into that parking lot. I need to go pick up some fish. Gotta slow down. Gotta slow down. And, yeah, yeah. My niece is driving me. She's about to take me in park right there. Wait, where are you going? Where are you going, niece? Circle back around. You take it. No, we're going to circle back around. Come on.
You're loving it right now.
She's going to be a good driver. She's going to be a better driver than you, my ungrateful son.
I don't even drive. So what are you talking about?
Exactly. That's why she already got you beat, Jack.
Here you
Park right
go.
there, then.
Anyway, I was talking about how it's the best time to give independent wrestling a chance because the tickets are WWE and shit like that.
See, that's
And
good.
even AEW though. I was like this, when an opportunity and stuff, you know. Support
Want
your
me
local
to?
independent promotion.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'll be right back in like 2 minutes. It's a good thing.
All right. I'll just shut your camera off
Teaching my
until
niece
you
how to
go.
drive, so
Well, where the belt guy's doing that, and he's staying on camera. I'm just gonna mute his mic, but um, but yeah. So those multiple promotions are giving people your local independent promotion a shot because I don't know about you, that's what I'll be doing. Um, but why is he freezing like that? What the fuck? Oh man. Anyway, um, so anyway, the things that we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about some more of the importance of independent wrestling is so crucial, but I think people should give that a shot. So even if you don't live in, even if you don't live in, like it all depends on where you live at, but like if you live in a lot of places, unless you live in Ohio or Oklahoma, most places have independent, but they don't have like quality independence. But you should a quality independence where they got not only these great wrestlers, but it's a great show set up and it's top to bottom great show. So if you live in Chicago, definitely go for freelance. If you live in Indiana, definitely check out Naptown Pro, especially if you live in Indianapolis. If you live in Indianapolis, Indiana, I recommend you go to a Naptown Pro. It's black owned too. I say if you're in North Carolina or even close to North Charlotte, North Carolina, or just take a trip even if you're not in Charlotte. In Georgia, uh, one fall rerun all over the state of Georgia. So you know, uh, but if you want us to come to your city or your town, hit up One Fall Wrestling at onefallwrestlingalive.com. Um, we'll come to your city. Uh, there's CZW in Florida and like the Miami that area. Um, like I said, Houston has Booker T. Ray Wrestling. Austin, Texas. There's New Texas. In New York, there's House of Glory. New Jersey has Wrestle Pro and Jersey Pro. I mean, yeah, was it all Jersey Pro? No, see, Jersey Championship Wrestling. Um, and several other promotions. It's a hotbed over there. West Coast Bay Area has the West Coast Pro, and it has I think Bodyslam Pro Wrestling used to be Hood Slam. But yeah, it's a lot of different places. So support your local places. Um, it definitely is it's the next level for like people that are all going to the next level of New Japan and MOW and um, you know, national TV success like your WWE and stuff like that. Um, so there's a combination of blends of different stuff. But I definitely you get a world. Now I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about how the stuff of stuff of stuff of you know the independent wrestling. I'll just say it's pretty good. Um, but there's a lot of what I noticed, and myself included. I know there's a lot of tag teams popping up, which I'm happy about that because I love tag team wrestling. It's really got me in wrestling, to be honest. Like it's got me. I think the first tag team I ever saw was the Dudleys, and they was getting booed. I wish people knew how much hated the Dudleys was. They would get nuclear heat, riot heat. Um, But I'm glad. I'm glad because I feel like the IWTV World Championships are prestigious that need to be defended. And Jay Newman is defending those championships. He's going all over. He's doing the thing as a world traveling DR. So, my tag team partner and myself, Alex Kane, we're gonna be all up and down the coast defending those championships, but I feel it's good. Um, I also feel that it's their natural teams will not feel like promotions got to put them together. That's all I feel. All right, now an important segment. An important segment is that we have to have. We have to have this segment of who was the next up and coming guy and girl. Who was the next up and coming person? So for right now, who I see a lot of people. There's Nikki X. There's Angelica Rest. There's Hyena Hair. There's there's Brooke Havoc. She's doing her thing. There's a lot of contenders. There's a lot of contenders. Now, I like to say I'm a student in the game and study anybody that I can on any platform. There's people that I see. There's a guy named Brian Morris on Wrestling Open. Man, I like to punch that dude in the face. He seems like a rat bastard, though. Definitely give me rat bastard vibes. Who is yours? Let me know on Twitter. Who is yours? Who is your top up and coming wrestler that you see that is like you see a lot in them? And up and coming tag team. It could be up and coming singles competitor. Let me know. And who is underrated? Who's so we just say under the radar? Who is an under the radar kind of performer that they've been in the scene for a couple of years and nobody really notices them? Like for me, there's a couple people. He's starting to get more traction now. It's been for a while, Darian Bankson. For these last 2-3 years, um, people been, you know, they've been out here taking his stuff, and he been noticing. I've been noticing too. Um, but yeah, under the radar, but now it's on the radar. So was Darian Bankson? It still would be Commander Man Dan. I feel like he's still under the radar. People don't pay attention to him. Uh, yeah, it's a lot of different people. So that's a segment that I want. Hit me up about that. But we're gonna talk about what's going on in this world, man. We're gonna talk about what's going on in the wrestling world because in this wrestling world, you have this tournament coming up, which is the CMLL Grand Prix Women's Championship. Now, there's people from no, I don't think it's championship tournament, but Grand Prix. Now, if Stan P was here, he could talk about it more. I'll have him on again. But it's going to be great. I recommend everybody check it out. And yeah, they have a YouTube channel. And also, I think you can pay for it too. I think it's like I don't know. Is it $5, $6, $7? I think it's like $7, something like that. It's not that bad, but check that out. I know there's a lot of stuff coming down the pike for different promotions. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I've been watching NWA lately. Uh, Shout out to PB Smooth for getting on there. Christopher Rivera. Somebody said who's under the radar. What's the segment? Who do you think is under the radar in independent wrestling? Who do you think is under the radar? That is the question. So Um, for me, like I said, it's Combatant Man Dan. It's now it's Darian Banks. I don't think he's being under the radar. He's actually being a rising star in wrestling, and people are starting to see the talent that he is. Um, I think a lot of the most underrated person I think is still Derek Neal. Like, and he should be on GCW TV. That's the main person that I think. But who do you think? So, Rick. But yeah, um, under the radar is a person who is he's so good, but people are not realizing how good he is. People are not paying attention to all the stuff he is. It was it's a lot of people that I can say that, but it's not coming to my mind. But my mind is right now is Derek Neal because even though he's in St. Louis Anarchy and he's doing his thing over there, and still I think underrated. I think underrated. Derek Neal should be on GCW and DPW and all these stuff. So Reckless Youth, man, that's a throwback. Is there a new team called Reckless Youth? Because I think that team has been retired. All right. Dan, I don't know how to say his last name. Billy Rails, Judas Young. Okay. Where do they wrestle out of? What area do they wrestle out of? I'm definitely going to check them out. And I'm also talking currently. You can't be putting people from like 05, 04 that's not currently active. I mean, currently active people that you feel is underrated. But I appreciate you giving me names, interacting with the chat. Um, but yeah, uh, this is the part after this part. We after the underrated stuff, we're gonna talk about this. Um, New Japan has been really good lately. I've been liking their stuff. Um, but the question is, Bullet Club is still going on. They're still doing their thing. Do you think Gabe Kidd will be the leader of Bullet Club, or is he okay with Fit Finley's kid leading that shit? That's a question. That's just a question. But the next segment is we're going to talk about we're going to hitch our land to the next thing. So with DPW did their last show, I think the tag tournament. I gotta go back and watch like the Roderick Strong uh and Eric. I don't know if it did it happen already. I gotta really check, but I have to watch that match. But it basically DPW's doing their thing. Um, gotta watch that tag tournament, and if you should watch it too. So, but the current segment is underrated talent, underrated or under the radar talent, and up and coming talent who you think in independent wrestling. Now, not just in the independent wrestling. I think this talent. I think they're hilarious. I think not. They're good. They're good entertainers, and they do good stuff in the ring. Um, I think the frat house is hilariously and keeps need to be on TV. Like definitely, I like their shirt. We're the best party. So, um, I also like the infantry is people know. One of the, so in the ring, best on the mic is the infantry right now. That is the best tag team. It's not even it's not even up to debate to be honest. Like currently, best tag team right now is the infantry. Now second would be Jet Speed. Jet Speed is definitely my second favorite. Um, and then the best trio right now. other than the Shane Taylor for me is the I like the Hurt Syndicate and I like the Man, so they'll be fourth. Um, those are my like TV, AEW favorite people that I rock with. So anyway, the thing that I'm gonna pull up, and I'm gonna say this because it needs to be said. Um, could AI book? And I never really talk about WWE like this, but I just wanted to know: could AI book WWE better than Triple H? That is the thing. I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be booking better than Triple H. Um, but also could it book because this shows about independent wrestling? Could AR book a better independent show than most bookers? That's the thing. I think so. I think AR could really do a good show. But you have good independent bookers out here. So I'm not gonna say that I am gonna use it, but if I need some help, I'm gonna need some help. So but I got a good enough mind to where I can go to book a good enough show when I book Nasty Mania. So that being said, uh, yeah, charge this phone. But yeah, um, I say that I'm trying to think what. Oh, so this is the thing that we need to realize with the AI. We need to realize that it will book it better most of the times on not only this WWE but independent wrestling shows. Um, but sometimes it's gonna come up with some stinkers. Sometimes it's not gonna come up with good stuff. Sometimes it's gonna come up with bad stuff. That's what I know. Um, basically, I just have to say that you know, Bow Guy comes in here. He wants to come on here. He wants to finally wants to get on the show. Then he wants to come on here and go to Hooters, basically, get what he has to get, leave. Then he was trying to not come back because why would you? Because you're just doing this shit. But you made your just a little appearance. Hey, I'm the belt guy. I make my appearance. Oh no, why not talk about this? And then leaves. Disrespect. But anyway, um, I I'm going to say this. This is a time with a point in time that I would say that I'm gonna have Stampede back on the show, one of my actually good co-hosts. And I'm going to wrap it up by saying this is the last few segments. Is my thoughts is support independent wrestling, support One Fall, aka One of W, support IC Wrestling, support that man. I just posted that we got new. Well, it's not new, but I've been waiting to pull it out and to promote it more. We got the Nancy team, Nancy Hottie, my version of a Barrett Jacket. Support me. But the last thing is the Rap Bastard of the Week, the Rap Bastard of the Day, whatever you want to say. But the Rap Bastard of the Week, as I have no Rap Bastards other than the main Rap Bastard. But the main Rap Bastard's changed. It's not MJF, even that he is a Rap Bastard. But it's the same Rat Bastard. So he's back in the spotlight. No, it's not Cheeseburger. No, it's not Active Scooter, but he is still a Rat Bastard. But the Rat Bastard of the Week is the Rat Bastard himself. And even that, I've gone on record saying I like his skills. He's like the Black William Regal. He's a technical showman. He's a technical terror. He is. There is Carter, Mr. Quote Unquote leader of the culture, Ashe Wrestling men's champion. You know, he is a real decorated individual. Um, but he's also a real decorated rat bastard too, and weasel. So also, you know, go follow him and call him a rat bastard. Go and call him a weasel because he cheated Billy Dixon out of the IC men's championship. And he just keeps showing how much of a rat that he is. So go call him a rat, go call him a weasel. With that being said, I'm gonna end this because it usually is normally like an hour or two. But since I'm alone, I'm gonna end it a little early. I normally end it at like 10 o'clock. But we're gonna earn it a little early because I just I just want to, and we had to have better have co-hosts on here. But yeah, mainly like I said, support independent wrestling, support ISH wrestling, support 1FW. Also, shout out to Covalent TV, man. Like, for getting those things going on. I want them to grow. I want them to do good things. I want them to get much of a fan base. You know, not only you liking and sharing my stuff, but go like and share Covalent TV because they be really putting out good content. That dude, Mr. Starks, works his ass off. Big Dub works their ass off. They're really, really good. They're really good. Um, from the moment I started watching them, I started liking their content, and they're really a good ass dudes though. I ain't gonna lie, they're non-biased, so you're not gonna get your quote unquote. Which I got this word for. I got this word from them, so I'm a credit this to Mr. Starks. You're not gonna get your little fat walker takes with this podcast. You know they're gonna give it to you true, and I'll be honest. There's some stuff that I disagree with them, but they keep it real. They keep it true. Even that they don't really like Eddie Kingston, they don't like Orange Cassidy, Brian Keefe, Danny Garcia. Even that they don't like some of my favorite wrestlers, that's okay. That's all right because I learned from them. Even that I'm a wrestler, wrestlers have fandom because that's where we get into it, right? We have a fandom. Even if you're a pro WWE person and you said, "I'm gonna check this out," this no, there will be truth will be said, and they're not going to be biased because they secretly want to get back there and work for WWE or have a press conference with them. So you should know that that's what I figured out, but I respect it about them. So that being said, um, man, I appreciate everybody. I'm glad that 280 people are watching me. I appreciate that. I didn't think it was gonna be a lot because I've been off. So that being said, check out all my homies. Um, from Darian Bankston to matter of fact, just check out Brooke Havoc. Check out everybody. Anybody that I follow, go see my follow list. Go follow them at Dope Ass Wrestlers. But also, really follow Wonder FW. We taking off, man. Like, it's real quality product. I put Wonder FW and Ashe Wrestling. And even if I don't work for Ashe Wrestling, I always want to promote them because, one, that's my dog, Darius. He's always been cool to me. Then there's two Darius. And I'm not talking about Darius Carter, the rat bastard. I'm talking about Darius Lockhart. Darius Lockhart has been a stand-up dude. He's always been cool to me. He's always been nice to me. Um, we never got the wrestle. Though you know the crazy thing is, we started at the same time. Like he started at 2014, and I started at 2014. But both in the South. He's in the Carolinas. I'm in Georgia. So like I think we only crossed paths like a couple of times, but never really locked up. Never really wrestled. So, but yeah, he's a good ass dude, and he's bringing like people. Like it isn't necessary. I will say this before I get off. It isn't necessary for actually wrestling to be here because if you feel that World Wrestling Entertainment or AEW is not using black talent the proper way, you should definitely check out Ashe Wrestling. A must. Like it's not only good stories, but it's not. People will be like, "Oh, independent wrestling just graps." No, places like Ashe Wrestling and Reality Wrestling and One for Wrestling are not just graps. We have storylines there. I'll just speak for One for right quick. One for all, we have storylines, we have compelling characters, and we have good wrestling, good quality wrestling, good commentary, good team in general. Ashe Wrestling, even at work there, they have good wrestling, they have quality stories, and they're building their stories from outside the ring with the ring announcers and the interviewers and just their personalities alone, and that's how they're building their stories, organically. So shout out to everybody who support it, and if you don't, check it out. If you want to know how black talent use, these are black stories. Like I say, this is black wrestling excellence. At the end of the day, man. So if you say, "Oh man, I really want this person to go to the top. Or I really want Carmelo Hayes to go to the top," you should want him the guys to go to Shea, because there he'll be appreciated, because that's where it's happening. That being said, no more time. Uh, Gotta end this shit early. Normally I end it at 10, like I say. So we out. Thanks for listening to me as I talk. Some people say ramble. Some people say rant, but I'm glad you stayed into the Natural Reality Podcast. I'm gonna definitely be consistent with this shit more. Um, I've been getting lost on my latest project that I got going on. So I'm just gonna just try to put out more episodes and try to be more consistent with the content of the shows. And also try to get more people on here. Not only as guests, but a guest co-host that can co-host with me, other than belt guys ways when I come in here and I do what I want ways looking as I just come in here because I'm the belt guy, and you don't have these people. If you don't have these people, I'm not coming in here. Other than having him, I'm gonna have Stampede back on, and I'm gonna have other co-hosts that'll be bringing to the to the show. So that being said, send that to my friends. Don't be a rap bastard, and also support independent wrestling. And if you need some help, I got you. Later.